Good day to you all. I am Wing Adjutant Gyani Agni, Commanding Officer of the 346 Bombardier Pelican Squadron. I have been requested by Chief of Staff Karaji to make the video on the monthly statistics for December, January, and February. I must emphasize that this would not have been possible without Karuji providing all of the charts, for which he had to spend over 10 hours combing through the main Air Force, pilot squadrons, and 2nd Airborne's Discord servers, and then compiling them in charts that you will be seeing shortly. So, if you ever see him in Discord or on Innsbruck, please be sure to thank him for his time. To begin with, this period was a time of polarization for the Air Force, beginning with an activity peak at the end of the year and ending in a membership crash. While the surveillance paradox remains, where our data collection makes our flaws more visible than other divisions, the statistics for early 2026 show us having some difficulties in maintaining foundations, despite high individual effort. December saw peak activity levels, but January and February were defined by mass stagnation and a failing recruitment pipeline. I will now start with the pilot statistics, beginning with the member count and growth trends. In December, the month started strong with the unadjusted member count peaking near 60. However, even at this peak, the adjusted count, excluding inactives, remained lower, showing a consistent gap of about 15 members. In January, membership remained relatively stable for the first half of the month, but began to stagnate and trend downward as the month progressed. In February, a crash occurred, with the unadjusted count plummeting from approximately 60 to nearly 35 members by the end of the month. In terms of recruitment and retention, we gained 17 members from 42 announced tryouts and basic trainees, while losing only 12 people, primarily through discharges in December. January showed recruitment remaining steady with 16 members gained, but losses increasing to 18, resulting in the first month of net negative growth. February showed retention failing completely as we gained only 7 members while losing 31, with 38.7% of these losses being desertion and 25.8% being Strike 6 plus exiles. Rank distribution and hierarchy health shows a top-heavy trend, with by February 28th, the number of senior NCOs and officers nearly equaled the number of enlisted members, leaving a lack of active boots on the ground for operations. Promotion distribution has the situation improved, as between December and February, Karoji handed out 56.6% of all 166 pilot promotions, followed by Deceminic at 16.3%. If you look at the chart, you can also see that there's further diversification of promoters. Host of the month had Deceminic taking the title for December and January with 17 events and 16 events, while Exestorvin led February with 11 events. Moving on to airborne statistics, the member count and growth trends showed December having a steady count of around 60 members, January having a sharp decline beginning mid-month with the count dropping from 55 to roughly 38, February having a similar situation to the pilots, seeing a near total collapse, ending the month with only 18 members. December's recruitment and retention showed 14 members being gained and losing 14 members, resulting in zero net growth. January showing gains dropping from 9 members while losses climbed to 20, and February had a year low with only 2 members being gained while 24 members were lost, a staggering 66.7% of which were Strike 6 plus inactivity exiles. Rank distribution and hierarchy health shows the rank numbers having mass stagnation in the NCO and SNCO tiers, as by February 1st, the enlisted pool was almost entirely depleted, with only a handful of active members remaining to support the officer and NCO staff. Promotion distribution was slightly better than the pilots, but still concentrated, with extravagant time and Karuji accounting for over 2/3 of all promotions. In host of the month, Trasher PLXD dominated December with 36 events, Giovanni Bott led January with 13 events, and Flander LA took February with 9 events. Moving on to community sentiment and officer polls, Karuji had consistently high ratings, peaking at 9.43 in February for Airborne, with members calling him the GOAT and being active, putting in effort. Russ Zelio, however, hovered between 3.63 and 5.55, with consistent feedback regarding inactivity. Other notable scores included guests maintaining a strong presence with a 9.0 rating in February, while Rear Aiden and Marcus struggling with mid ratings and feedback about not being that active. For news, reforms and future goals, the activity quota was suspended for the entirety of December to account for the holidays, which likely contributed to the high voluntary event numbers seen that month. The January inspection was also held with 33 attendees and several awards being handed out. The Air Force Cross in Silver to Wing Adjutant Gyani Yagni and Air Commodore Raselio, the Air Force Cross in Bronze to Warrant Officer Gawad PTS, then Wing Adjutant Trasher PLHD, General Field Marshal Winsex Rose, then Squadron Leader and now Wing Adjutant Guess, Chief Sergeant Daniko XD, and Wing Adjutant Decimated. The Golden Propeller class to Corporals Kayaji 1, Flight Sergeant Yuan Gam, and General Field Marshal Winsex Rose. In addition, Chief of Staff Karuji received his well-deserved Emperor's Cross in Bronze, handed out by General Field Marshal Winsex Rose in lieu of the Emperor's absence, for his dedication and work for over a year despite having a lack of staff officers to assist him. Additionally, Wing Adjutant Gyani Agni also received his Merit Cross in Bronze from Chief of Staff Karuji for all of his work in the returning of divisional awards. Bomber jacket patches have also been announced by Chief of Staff Karuji on 8th February 2026. These are a t-shirt all pilots in the squadron are able to request for themselves, in which they'll be given their squadron patch as well as a call sign of their choosing, up to 8 characters. Then upon the request being made, a t-shirt will be DM'd to them. In terms of the recruitment crisis, it is now clear that tryouts on Innsbruck are ineffective, and we have begun recruiting in external locations like Group Recruiting Plaza to provide a steady supply of enlisted members and OCS candidates. However, due to the Roblox's new restrictions on the chat system, it has become a bit harder to communicate to newer recruits. Our goals for March is to rebuild the foundation. For every active member is being pushed towards OCS, since the division cannot survive V6 if we do not have an active staff to manage the influx of new players. We need to focus on active recruitment over everything else. At the end of the video, I would like to begin with my own thoughts regarding the whole situation. I believe that there is still a lot of hope, as a lot of work has been done in terms of V6 planning, which is now closer than ever. As you can see in the development updates that are being posted now almost daily, with some messages being sent twice or thrice a day, and we can see that it is a very well done map based on the images Irish has sent. In terms of our hosting capacity, it has become slightly nerfed due to Roblox's chat system update, wherein individuals from certain age groups cannot message other ones. But we have bypassed this by relying on Discord DMs or Discord's voice chat. So it is a little bit harder to host events or supervise events, but it is still certainly doable. And I would like to thank our NCOs and officers for the way that they have managed to keep hosting and keep recruiting new individuals. There has been a lot of struggle that has come up, but with all of the work being done, especially with the airfield that is coming up and all of our changes for V6, I would say that I would believe that we have a great time ahead of us. We just need to hold out for a little bit longer. And I know it's a very annoying thing, but V6 is right around the corner. Irish is more dedicated than ever, especially being helped now by Chief of Staff Gideon Blitz, who is the Mechanized Battalion Chief of Staff. But yeah, there is still hope. I have hope still. There are some arguments that unfortunately break out every now and then, but that is merely because of the passion that all of us hold between each other. Sorry, this is just me rambling on at the end. But I still would like to say that if you are interested in EIG or if you're interested in the Air Force, please stay. It's there, we're nearly there. The finish line is at sight. There's a lot of planning that I've done for the Quartermaster Corps as well. Divisional awards also were a little bit hard to figure out, but we've done our best. There's still more to go. So stay around and thank you for your time.